mama said stay home, get away from me, saying I was bad for you.
Hello and welcome to another episode of WCU Entertainment Review. I'm Courtney and I'm joined again with Carly and David. Jayla is out this week. We are filming our last show of the 2016 year. Pretty exciting. This is also my last show because I'm graduating in a week. Really scary. But we're not going to talk about that. So we've got a great show in store. We're going to be talking about in TV, Unbreakable, Kimmy, Schmidt, and Game of Thrones, which returned this weekend. And then we'll also be talking about in music, a band called the Strutz. So let's get started with TV. So I'm going to mention this really quick because I'm the only one on the panel that actually watches the show, which I find to be crazy because I feel like everyone and their mother watches Game of Thrones, which is probably the biggest show that's on TV right now. It's in its 6th season. It's on HBO, makes a ton of money for HBO. Everyone knows about it, even if you don't watch it.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
It's winning all kinds of awards all the time.
Winning all kinds of awards. It's known for being extremely violent and, shocking and scary, and you can go down the line with adjectives. But the 6th season premiered this past Sunday, and obviously, it's Game of Thrones. It was full of plenty of shocks and surprises. And if you did see the episode, I think you know what I'm talking about. That final scene with Melisandre. Yeah. Kind of gross. No offense to anyone that is into that, but a little gross to me, a little shocking. I'm interested to see what this season has in store because I was not impressed with last year. I feel like last year they took too many liberties with characterizations, and I think that they did too many things for shock value that should never be used for shock value, but I'm not going to get into that. So I'm just going to say I'm optimistic about season 6. I'm interested to see what happens. I'm already happy with some of the storylines that are being put in place, but I don't know, it's Game of Thrones, so anything goes. But now we're going to talk about another show that just came back on Netflix about 2 weeks ago, which is Unbreakable, Kimmy Schmidt, and we all can talk about this one.
Definitely.
Yes. Who wants to summarize Kimmy Schmidt for us really quick?
Oh, got you on that one.
All right.
So Kimmy Schmidt is based on this girl who was actually kidnapped, and she was taken into a bunker, and this pastor convinced her and a few other girls that the apocalypse happened, and they believed him and stayed in a bunker for 15 years. And finally, they got broken out, and now Kimmy Schmidt is living her life, experiencing everything for the first time.
In none other than New York City.
Right.
Yeah, she's from a very small town in Indiana called Durnsville, which obviously it's made up. And Ellie Kemper from The Office plays her.
Right.
And she's extremely vivacious and bubbly and very optimistic.
Sometimes naive.
Yeah,
very naive sometimes. I mean, the last time she was in the real world, it was 1998 or 1999, and she was about 14.
Yeah.
So now she's almost 30, and a lot of things have changed since the late 90s.
Right.
I think the show's great.
I think it's one of the funniest ones so far that Netflix has put out.
It is a Netflix original. We should also have mentioned that.
Yep.
I think it's gonna go on for a while, but I don't know how much more they can keep adding because, she can only be so naive for so long.
See, I did watch all the 2nd season, and I can say that without spoiling it for anyone, Kimmy does mature a bit.
Yeah,
and I think
from what I've gotten to, she's definitely come into herself a little bit more.
She definitely has, because in the 1st season, she's
Stepped
very
on.
naive. She got tricked by a lot of people, unfortunately, but she's definitely has started to come into her own, and I think that the show's going in kind of a different direction now.
Yeah.
Instead of, being like, look at how naive she is, and she's 30, and she wears, light-up sneakers. It's more about someone that's actually trying to get over a traumatic experience. And they're making light of it, but in a good way. Because it's heavy stuff. I mean, she was kidnapped and stuck in a bunker for 15 years. I mean, that's not usually what a comedy is about.
Right.
Yeah.
But they're clever with it. And
They're very clever with it.
Yeah.
And I love, Kimmy Schmidt has a lot of rich supporting characters, too.
Yeah, so like we were talking about earlier, there's her roommate Titus Andromedon, who I think is one of the best parts of the entire show. He's so funny and lively and adds a different perspective to Kimmy's life, which she hasn't really seen before in the bunker or in from her small town.
Yeah.
And also her landlord, who is really just something else too. She's crazy.
Played by the amazing Carol Kane. I love Lillian, and I think she's one of the best characters on TV right now. But yeah, Titus definitely, and with the second season, there's more focus on secondary characters like Titus and Lillian and Jacqueline, who is Kimmy Schmidt's boss. So it's definitely, I think it's becoming more of an ensemble comedy than one. I feel like last year it was more focused on Kimmy.
Yeah, I agree.
And everyone just kind of played a part in her life and her learning more about the world. But I think now it's becoming more of an ensemble piece, which I really like. And I saw all the second season, and I can say it was pretty good. Some parts I was a little bored with or frustrated with, but overall I enjoyed it a lot. You guys haven't seen all of it
Not
yet.
all of it
No,
yet.
not all
David
of it.
accidentally skipped 4 episodes.
Yeah. I share a Netflix account, as everybody does.
Right.
And I clicked play, and it ended up playing on the 6th episode. I was only on episode 2. But, oh well.
Oh well, it didn't spoil too much,
Yeah,
and
it
it
didn't
kind of gave you
spoil
like a
too
little
much, so.
taste. I like about this season 2 is that they're building more on like love lives beyond just Kimmy's and like finding them. I don't know. I just think they have a really good medium of like their characters right now and how many characters there are. It's not overwhelming in any way. I think it's a really good show. It's a must watch.
I think it's definitely a show that I'll watch if I'm upset or stressed, and it definitely helps me take my mind off of things that are bugging me. And it kind of like, it's just a really good stress relief, because it's just so, some of the episodes are so ridiculous that like you can't help but not laugh. And not that they don't there aren't dramatic moments, there are some, but it's definitely a very like good pick-me-up. So I highly recommend, and obviously David and Carly do too.
Yes.
But I think that's all we can say about Kimmy Schmidt until Carly and David finish season 2.
Right.
But now we're going to move on to music, and this is more of David's topic. He wants to talk about a band that he really likes called the Strutz.
Right. So this is a band. They're from the UK.
Yes.
And they're glam rock music. So I'm talking about Queen, Rolling Stones, that type of music. And I think that's something lacking in our current music scene right now, top 40 music, because, you know, you don't even see one song that's glam rock like that.
No.
And the Strutz, if we didn't say that already, they're called the Strutz. They do it very well, I think.
They do. I've heard some of their songs, and I really enjoy the Strutz and want to get more into what they have put out.
I agree. I feel like they're like a kind of a pump-up band, but they have like meanings behind their music still, which I appreciate.
Right.
They remind me of like a Ramones type group, or like the Rolling Stones, like you said, or the Clash, and that's the kind of music that I like, and I definitely like it better than what's playing on top 40 stations nowadays. Although I do enjoy "Cake by the Ocean" by Dance.
Oh,
Yeah.
Joe Jonas, man.
But how did you get into the Strutz?
So actually, I'm going to Firefly Music Festival this summer, and I stalked every name on that lineup, and I came across the Strutz. They're going to be there, and I fell in love with them instantly. They only had an EP out at the time, but recently in March came out with an album. Love that too, and that's how I came across them. So.
Fun fact: my dad listens to the Strutz. He asked for their album that dropped for his birthday, and we got it for him.
Yeah,
so he's very hip.
It is that classic sound, you know?
Yeah, I think that they're definitely bringing back like the stuff from the 60s, 70s, and 80s that a lot of people loved, and I'm okay with it.
I love still, so.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So you're going to Firefly.
Yep.
Other than the Strutz, who are you most excited to see?
Florence and the Machine.
Oh,
Yes.
yes. I love
And wait
Florence
for
and
it,
the Machine.
Mumford and Sons.
I love them. They just dropped a new song this week.
Oh.
It's really good. It's with, and I can't think of the artist that they collaborated with, but it has like, it's really good. It's called, it's bad, I can't think of the name. Go on their Spotify page, it's on there. It's really good.
Anything Mumford and Sons is good, I think.
I love Mumford and Sons.
I went through a stage where I strictly listened to Mumford and Sons and nothing else. So I'm pretty well versed on their albums.
Yeah.
Is this your first time going to Firefly?
No, third time.
I've never been to a music festival, so what do you just sleep in a tent? Like what happens? What happens?
Yeah, you sleep in a tent with Firefly. That's 4 days sleeping in a tent.
Never
and
slept in a tent.
it's not easy, you know.
No.
You're sleeping on the ground, like out in like not the wilderness, but like
A field.
a field, and there's a bunch of other people there with you, out for the haul for it. So I mean, you're not alone, and that's not what you remember in the end. You remember the concerts and the music and the good time that you had.
And the
so.
friendships.
Exactly.
I think the big thing about like music festivals, I've never been to Firefly, but I've been to a couple music festivals, is it's just so hot. And that's like also something that you remember. Like the heat is just like,
wow.
especially in the summer times, like around here, like it gets warm.
It's so humid in this area in the summer, and I hate it. I remember last year at Firefly, there was a really bad thunderstorm, wasn't there?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. You were right in the thick of it, right?
I was.
You were
right,
literally in
right
it.
in. So I don't know if this is on-air conversation, but
You know what? It's the last show. Anyone
yeah.
knows.
So I was in a porta potty,
Okay.
and it was storming, right? And
Yeah.
apparently they made a mass announcement to the Firefly whole venue, which is like miles. It's a big area.
Right.
And I realized it's raining, so I'm like taking my time in this porta potty because I don't want to go out in the rain.
Of course.
Anyways, while I was in there, they must have made some mass announcement that Firefly venue is just, evacuate. Go back to your tents, to your cars, stay safe. I come out of this porta potty, no one in the whole entire venue. I'm just like, I thought I was like seeing things for a little bit, and I was like, wait. And then all of a sudden, somebody like called me out, a security like guard. They were like, who is that? Like there I was in the distance. I came over. They like gave me a poncho. They like treated me real nice. So
at least they didn't yell at you.
oh no. They were just kind of like,
What
where
are you
were
doing?
you? You know, like I was like, I didn't hear it. I'm sorry.
Gotta go.
Yeah, definitely we'll have some funny stories like that if you go to a music festival.
If Firefly tickets weren't so expensive,
I know. Yep.
I would definitely go because some of my friends are going, and I've been wanting to see Florence and the Machine in concert for about 6 years now.
Mm-hmm.
But the set list is amazing. Paul McCartney played last year.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that honestly. Like a Beatle.
Yeah.
Like
A Beatle.
Yeah.
A Beatle. Well, I think that's all we have for today. Thanks for sticking around with us.
Yes.
Have a great summer. Lots of good movies are coming out this summer.
Mm-hmm.
Captain America comes out next week. I wish we
Finding
could have a show
Dory.
to talk about that. Finding Dory comes
Yeah.
out. How did I forget about that one? And probably a bunch of other sequels that probably should have never been made. But that's the box office nowadays. I'm cynical. All right. Well, that's all you have for me. I'm graduating. I don't know where I'll be in 6 months, but
Maybe she'll be back, make a special appearance.
Yeah, and I just want to say, Courtney, you have been awesome on this show. I've seen past episodes even before me and Carly have been here. And honestly, every time you're just like, you have such value to the conversation.
Yes.
Seriously.
thanks. All right, well, I'm going to go cry now. But you will be seeing Carly and David next year, which is awesome.
Yeah,
And
hopefully
Jayla
do
will be back
good
too.
of a job as you
Yes.
did.
Oh, they will. They'll be awesome. But that's all I have. Do you guys have anything else to add?
We're going to miss you.
Miss you guys too.
Seriously.
All right, well, everyone, good luck on finals. Enjoy your summer. We're out. Bye.